What up, beautiful people? For Haley's here. So I wanted to make a quick video because I noticed that a lot of us, we walk around this world maybe broken, maybe damaged, maybe hurt, maybe unfulfilled, whatever, whoever broke you or what situation hurt you or may damage you or may have left you scarred. It does not mean that you're broken or damaged. That's just the mindset. I made this content because I want a lot of us to recognize our wrongdoings. You know, we are always quick to put the blame on other people. We are always fast to shift and blame someone else. But at the same time, we have to take accountability for our actions. If you know there's a version of yourself that is still toxic, or it's not serving other people, maybe it's not serving yourself. Maybe you're in the era right now where you asking yourself if you really love yourself, if you value yourself, if you're worthy of love, or if you're just worthy to be alive or to wake up. I want y'all to let that broken, damaged mindset go, because it's okay to take accountability for your actions. Or if you know you haven't been the best version of yourself, there's always room for improvement and for growth. And I say this because before I started creating content, before I even released my podcast, there was a version of me where I didn't know if I even loved myself. There was a time before I even started creating content for y'all where I was like in a dark place, mentally and emotionally, because this is why I always say you got to protect your energy and you got to be careful who you invest your time into, whether it's a friendship or a relationship or even a job. Because I was in a relationship and it was so toxic. And when you're in those kind of relationship where it's on and off and there's so many highs and there's so many lows, what nobody tells you is that it gets really addicting. At least for me, I was so addicted to the drama. I was so addicted to the on and off, the chase. I was so addicted to the toxicity, and I didn't realize it for a really long time. But that version of me, I was so vulnerable and I was in a dark place and I didn't know until I got out of it. And when I was in that relationship, I was treating my family wrong. I was always having an attitude. I was always in a bad mood. I would always take out my frustrations out on my siblings, on my family. When you're going through something dark, or you're in a situation or in a relationship, or it could even be a job, because, you know, there's a lot of jobs that are so toxic, and then you have toxic coworkers and there's always drama and all of that extra stuff. You got to recognize and you got to acknowledge where you are, how your emotions are. Get in touch with your feelings. Don't ignore it. Don't suppress it. But notice how you're treating people around you. Notice how is your mental health. Because everything that you do, everything that you put out into this world, it is going to come back to you. And it's okay if you made mistakes, but acknowledge it. It's not okay if there was a version of you that you're not really proud of, or you was the toxic person and you just put a band-aid over it and just moved forward. You never truly moved on. You never truly healed. Whatever is not serving you and it's not bringing you joy or fulfillment, please let it go. If your friends, if your family, if your significant other, there's constantly stress, you're constantly depressed, you're always arguing, you're always fighting. If you are in a version, or you could be in a relationship and it doesn't have to be toxic. If you know that you're not ready to commit, you still have stuff to establish, or you still have stuff to heal from, or you still want to overcome your traumas, don't drag someone else into your mess, because that's not fair to them. But if you know you're toxic and the situation is bringing out the worst in you, please let it go before it's too late. And when I mean too late, I just mean where you lose yourself, you lose your identity. You don't even know how to love yourself. You don't even know how to move on. You don't know how to move forward. You don't know how to take accountability. And all you're doing is attracting who you are. In that relationship, I did not like who I was. After I went through so much stuff in that relationship, and I kept letting the person back in my life. I kept accepting them. I kept accepting the apologies. I kept accepting the crocodile tears. The more I kept accepting that person, the less I started to love myself. The less I started not to value who I was anymore. For example, if this person was cheating on me, I would take them back and I'll be like, but wait a minute. I don't forgive cheaters. I don't forgive liars. Why am I taking this person back? And when I would take that person back, I low-key hated them, but I hated myself for even taking them back, for being weak. If the version of you right now is not who you are deeply, and it's not the person who you want to become, recognize who you are, what you're doing to yourself, how it's affecting you, your mental health, your surroundings, and try to remove yourself from that situation. It's just not worth it, I'm telling you. Because at the end of the day, when something doesn't work out in your life and you was attached to it and you invested so much of your time to it, you are responsible for your own healing. You're the one who has to pick up the pieces and learn how to grow from the situation. And this is why a lot of people walk around damaged and broken, because they never healed. They never learned from their experience. They never got in touch with themselves. And you know why? Because they don't take accountability for their actions. Me, I take accountability for my past relationship as well. As much hurt as I went through, I still allowed it to happen, to the point where I was becoming such a monster in that relationship where I wanted to hurt that person as bad as they hurt me. And what do I get out of that? I don't get nothing out of that. I'm just messing up my life even more. I'm messing up who I am. I'm diminishing my identity. What I want to tell you is that your past, or where you are right now, is just the chapter. It's just the page. It does not define who you are. If who you are, you know you're meant for greatness. You know that there's better for you in store. Whatever just doesn't fit in your life and it does not align with who you are anymore, you got to learn how to let that go. The point of this content is not just about letting it go. It's about taking accountability. It's about recognizing your wrongs. It's about getting in touch with your emotions. It's about restoring who you are as a person. And I'm telling you right now, that is the hardest thing to do. It is so hard to get to that point where you are on the other side, but you know you wasn't your best. You know there was a version of you that was broken, that was still hurt, that was dark. It's hard to restore light into yourself when you went through such a phase in your life. But at the end of the day, it's worth it, because you do not want to walk around having a broken soul. And I don't believe that we're broken. I don't believe that we're damaged. I believe that's a mindset, having a broken, damaged mindset. But that's not the way how you should carry your life. So I just want to say, for those, if this really resonates with one of y'all or some of y'all, if you know you are at a place in your life, or you was at a place in your life, that version of you or the version of you right now, realize your characteristics, recognize your wrongs, but learn to take accountability for your actions. And that is okay, because we're not perfect. We're meant to do mistakes. But the point is not to keep attracting and having this repetitive cycle towards someone else or towards yourself or in your future. Keep running into these same toxic people or situations that once you're healed, your intuition already recognizes if it's not worth it. You already know if you should entertain this kind of individual or situation, because you're healed. You already grew from the experience, but it's not easy. So I just want to say that I hope you like this content. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back for more videos.